Hello and welcome to today's video. In this video, we are going to learn text functions in MS Excel. In data analytics, working with text is just as important as working with numbers. Excel provides powerful text functions like trim, left, right, and mid to help clean, extract, and manipulate text data efficiently. Trim removes unwanted spaces, making your data cleaner for analysis. Left, right, and mid allow you to extract specific parts of a string, such as getting a customer's first name from full name or pulling out a product code from a description. These functions are essential for transforming raw messy data into structured, usable information, a crucial step in any data analysis workflow. Before you proceed, please make sure you have reviewed my video on cell references. Check the link below in the description of the video. Let's now take a look at the agenda items for today's video. We will learn the trim function, the left, mid, and the right functions, which are essentially text extraction functions. Following that, we will learn concat, ampersand, and text join functions. These are essentially used to concatenate multiple pieces of text into one. Following that, we will learn isText, extract, upper, lowers, proper, find, search, substitute, and length functions. Let's now move to the definition tab. Here is a brief documentation of these functions. The trim function takes text as a parameter and removes extra spaces from the text. Spaces are removed from the left side and the right side of the text, and also from the middle of this text. The left function takes two parameters, the original text and the number of characters to extract from the original text, and from the left side, it returns the extracted characters. The right function, it does the same thing as the left function, but it returns the extracted characters from the right side of the text. Mid function, the mid function returns the extracted characters from the middle of the string. Let's move on to the find function. The find function finds one piece of text string within another and returns the position of the found string. Please note that finding is case-sensitive operation. Search function. The search function is same as find. The only difference is that the search is not case-sensitive, whereas find is. The upper, lower, and proper. These functions change the case of the text. Length. The length function is very simple. It returns the number of characters in the text. Concat. The concat functions join multiple text strings into one. Exact function. The exact function compares two text strings and returns true if they are exactly the same and false if they differ. Please note that the exact function is case sensitive. Now let me demonstrate these functions with examples. Let me go to the example tab here. Before you start working on these examples, please make sure you have reviewed my video on cell references. Check the link below in the description of the video. As you can see, I have data table here comprising of 5 columns: name, email, ID, employee ID, department, and notes. To the right side, you can see some practice ideas. We will use these practice ideas to practice text functions. I will be applying the functions to the practice area below. As you can see, this is our practice area. Let's start with the first one. Use trim to clean spaces in the name and employee ID. So here we have the name column. Here is the employee ID column. Let us apply the trim function to the name. So that type equal to trim, press tab, and then select the cell, press enter. As you can see, we have been able to trim the space from the name. Repeat the same for the remaining names, and you can see the space before the name, especially the name Mike Davis, has been removed or trimmed. Let us now apply the trim function to the employee ID column. Type equal to trim. Select the employee ID and press enter. Repeat the same thing for the rest of the cells. And you can clearly see that spaces before the employee IDs have all been trimmed off. Next, use proper upper lower to fix case issues in name and department. Let me now apply upper function to the name column. Type equal to upper and then select the name to convert to uppercase. I'm selecting the name here in this column. Press enter. And you can see the name has been converted to uppercase. Apply the same thing across the remaining names. And you can see all the names have been converted to uppercase. Now apply lower to the names. Type lower, select the name, press enter, and then drag it across so that it applies to the rest of the names. Repeat the same thing for proper. Type equal to proper, select the name, and then press enter. You can now clearly see the name has been converted to proper case. Now the other thing is to apply the proper function to the department. As you can see, the department names have mixed cases. So let us apply proper to the department. Type equal to proper, select the department and enter. Repeat the same thing for the remaining department names. You can clearly see all the names have been converted to proper case. Next, extract the domain name from email using right and mid. So let us try that here. Let us extract the domain name from the email column using the right function. Type equal to right and then select the text from which you want to extract the characters and select the number of characters from the right side. So the domain name comprises of 11 characters. So I'm going to type 11 character here and then enter. You can see the domain name has been extracted from the email ID. Repeat the same process for the rest of the email IDs. You would see now the domain has been extracted for all of them. Now let us extract the domain name using the mid function. Finding the domain name using a mid function is a little complicated. To get the domain name using mid function, we will need help of find function. Find is needed to get the starting position of the domain. So let me try that and apply. First, let us get the position of the @ symbol using find function. So type is equal to find, and the find text here is going to be the @ symbol within the domain name, within the email ID, sorry, and search from the first character and enter. @ symbol is at the 9th position. So we should extract the domain from the 10th position. Let us now apply mid function. Enter equal to mid and select the text. Select that starting number. The starting number is going to be given by the find function. We already have the find function here, but the find function points to the @ symbol, but we need to do a +1 so that we start from the first character of the domain. In this case, it is E character, and the domain name length is 11 characters. So type 11 there and press enter. So there you can see the domain has been extracted properly using the mid function. Repeat the same thing for the remaining IDs, and you can see the results from domain name right and domain name mid are exactly the same. Let us move on to the next problem. Combine the name and employee ID using concat or ampersand or text join. So let us start with concat. Type concat and select the first text in the concatenation. This is the name, and then let me introduce a space character before the name and the ID. So I'll type a space character here. That is my second text, and the third text is that the actual ID. Close the bracket, press enter. So you can see the two texts have been concatenated. Repeat it for the rest of the text. Now let us move on to using the ampersand character. So type equal to and select the name which you need to concatenate with ID, and then use an ampersand character here and introduce a space character. After that, we are concatenating A12 with the space and also with ID. The third text is going to be the ID. So press enter, and you can see the results of concat and ampersand are matching. Extend that to the remaining cells and you get the exact same results. Now let us achieve that using text join. Type is equal to text join, and here the text join readily gives us a parameter to specify the delimiter. In this case, our delimiter is a space between the two texts. Then second parameter is ignore empty cells. Yes, let us ignore. And now select the text that we can concatenate. Name followed by employee ID. Close the bracket, press enter. So we are done here, but apply the same method to the remaining names as well. And you can clearly see all these functions have resulted in exactly same output. So as per your convenience, you can either use concatenate function, ampersand, or text join. Ampersand is by far most convenient way of achieving the results. Let us move on to the next problem. Use len function to count character length of nodes. So here we are going to apply the function type equal to len, and then select the node cell here, and then press enter. Number of characters in this text is 8. Apply to the remaining text as well, and there you get it. The last one shows 1. That's because this cell is not really blank, it has one space character. So the space character is also counted as one character. And finally, let us extract the first name and last name using the left, right, and find function. To get the first name, we will use left and find functions. Find function is needed to get the number of characters in the first name. So the name actually is divided into first name and last name. So they are separated by a space character. So to extract the first name, let us use find function and find the position of the space character. So type find, and the text that we need to find is a space character within the name John Doe, and then starting from 1. So 5 is the position of the space character in the name. So let us use this output from the find in the left function. So type equal to left and select the text, comma, find the find function is going to now give the number of characters in the first name. However, it also includes a space character. So we need to remove or subtract 1 from the count so that we get exactly 4 characters, which is the length of the first name, and then press enter. So as you can see, there is the first name that we have got here. Repeat the same thing for the remaining names, and you can see we have the results for all the cells. Now let us extract the last name from the full name. To solve this, we will be using write, len, and find functions. The idea is to get the total length of the text and then subtract the number of characters in the first name. This will give me the characters in the second name. I will then use that in the write function. So let us do this step by step. first apply length function to the full name here, and the length function will give me the complete length of the name. From that, we are going to subtract the size of the first name or the number of characters in the first name. For that, use find function and count until space character, and then select the name here, which is the within text starting from 1. So this is going to give me the number of characters in the last name or from the right. So apply this in the right function, or rather use this in the right function. Type equal to right, select the text, comma, and the rest of the combination of functions is going to give me the total number of characters in the last name. So close the bracket and press enter. So you have the second name printed here. This is the result expected. Apply the same functions to the rest of the text, and you can see the name have been properly shown here or extracted. Next, let us move on and practice some additional functions. We will be practicing exact, find, search, and substitute functions. Here is the practice idea. We have a table here which has around 6 columns, and this is the practice area we are going to use. So let us start with exact. So as per the definition, the exact function checks if two texts are exactly the same. And if it is true, then it will return us the logical value of true. If it is not, then it will return false. And please note that this is case sensitive. So type equal to exact here, and the columns that we need to use for this practice is the original text and the compare text. So we have original text here, the first column, and the compare text, the second column. So type exact and then select the original text, comma, and the text 2 is going to be our compare text. Close the bracket, press enter. And you can see the result is false because these two, even though the words are the same, but they differ in case. So that is the reason we have false as the result. So extend the same functions or apply the same function to the rest of the text in the columns, and none of these are exactly the same. That is why you see the result as false for all the texts here. Let us next move on to find function. For the find functions, we are going to use sentence column and the word to find column. Here we have the sentence column and there is a word to find column here. So press equal to find here. Then the word to find is Excel, and the text within which we need to find the word is this: welcome to Excel, which is C51, starting from the first character. Press equal to, and find returns 12. So the find function is able to find the word Excel in the sentence. So you can really cross verify the result. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 12 is the position of the starting word Excel. Likewise, apply the same function to the remaining cells by dragging this, and you can see each of the find function is able to find the word in the sentence except for this one. So the find is case sensitive and it is not able to find search word, which is lowercase, in the sentence, and the search here in the sentence is in uppercase, therefore it is unable to return the position. So in such cases, what we need to do is we need to enclose the find function within another function called isError, sorry, if error. So what if error does is, if any of the functions return an error, it will help us compose a meaningful text to the user. In this case, put the find function as the first argument to the if error, and if the find function fails for some reason, you can then specify the text the user will be seeing because of that error. In this case, we are unable to find the text, so not found could be a probable response to the user. So this way, if any function returns error, you can utilize if error method or if error functions to return a meaningful error to the user. Let's move on to the search function here. Type search. For the search function, we will now use sentence column, this one, and the word to find, the same two columns. Find text is going to be Excel here, followed by within text is our sentence, and then start from 1. You definitely get the same results because find and search are almost the same except for the case sensitivity. And here you can see search is able to find uppercase search within the, search is able to find the lowercase search within uppercase text here in the sentence. Since search is case insensitive, it is able to find search in the sentence and able to also return the position. Finally, let us try using substitute. For the substitute function, we will use sentence column, word to replace column, and the replacement word. So it takes 3 parameters here. The first is the text, which is our main sentence. The old text is the word to replace, which is Excel here, followed by the new text would be Power BI, starting from 1. And as you can see, the word Excel has been replaced by Power BI. So the sentence was welcome to Excel has now become welcome to Power BI. So apply the same functions to the remaining cells, and you can see the substitute is able to replace words correctly according to the text provided. Find and find differ. Find and search differ was the original text, which has been replaced with find and find differ. Similarly, replace apples with oranges has been converted to replace oranges with oranges. So finally, we will apply is text here. So is text actually checks if the provided argument is a text or not. So to check that, type is equal to is text and provide the value to it. And you see the value false given to the number. So apply the same functions to the remaining cells. As you can see, the first one is a number, and that is the reason you get the value as false, because it is obviously not a text. The second one, it is a combination of text and number, but actually it is considered as text. So that's the reason you see the value true here. Number, of course, is false here. And the date, this is a date value. The date is also essentially a number fundamentally. It is also called as a serial number, and therefore you see the output of is text is false.